Last episode, Byakuya the Crazy decided that he wanted to enlist our help with solving this puzzle despite not wanting to co-op the whole game. Weirdly. So, I guess we're going to work on that. Now, can I look at things in this room? There's a dumbbell on the floor, and there's a blood stain. There's a blood stain on the dumbbell. The Monokuma file said a blow to the head with a blunt object is what killed her. Does that mean this dumbbell was actually the murder weapon? And imagine it could have been anything else, and before it isn't actually the murder weapon. Locker room dumbbell has been added. Okay, sweet. Must have... No, we can't look at the weights that have fallen? Okie dokie, well I guess we'll inspect the body. I can feel the life draining out of my own body. It's a dead body. Chihiro's dead body.
Very strange.
But the more I look, the more strange it all seems. This must be Genocide Jack's handiwork. Well, but we're still not sure he did it. Is that what you want to say? I wonder about that. You know what, you're a bit of a weird one. There's no getting around that. Let's look at the blood stains now. There's a fresh blood stain on the carpet. It must have been splattered with blood during the murder. Why is that in the girls' locker room? The poster's got some blood on it. Oh, yes, it does. On her forehead. It must have happened during the murder. Which means it splattered that far, is what they're trying to say. Cameras, bloodlust. Okay, let's speak to Byakuya. How's it going? If you have time to talk, you have time to start investigating. Okay, right. Well, we clearly haven't looked at everything, have we? Just the meaning behind it, bloodlust. I know! Turn it around and it spells Tsil Dulb. I think I've cracked the code, guys. Already looked at you. What am I doing?
Very... What?
Still not sure he did it. Grr, angry. Right, can we leave the room? Hold on, we still have more to check here. Through there. Right, got it. What? Do I just have to talk to everyone? Dude, I'm real complex about being weak. You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? All I need to get is stronger. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. Sure did, which I guess explains the trip down here. But did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't that strong. I don't know about that. I know, man. I haven't really thought about that stuff. Yeah, cause of Chihiro's complex. Can't help but wondering what it might be. I have no idea what on earth that could mean. I use this locker room all the time. Now it's become the site of Chihiro's death. But why was she killed in the locker room? Actually, if you think about it, she could have been killed somewhere else than carried here. Well, no, she wasn't. That's why there's a blood splatter on the fucking poster. She was very light, that is true. It wouldn't be hard for someone to carry her, but still. I still think she came here on her own by choice. What makes you say that? She'd been talking a lot lately about how she wants to get stronger. Yeah, okay, I get it. Look, okay. Hang on, that was actually important. I thought you were just repeating the same thing that said. She'd been talking a lot how she wanted to get stronger lately. So you're saying she came here to exercise, but apparently she was killed at 2 in the morning. Would she be exercising that late? Hina or myself are usually in the locker room during the day. She was probably avoiding it then. Avoiding it? Although we invited her to join us more than once, she never showed up. I can only assume she was trying to avoid us. Well, I mean, if she was shy and terrified of people who were a lot bigger than her, then I can understand. But instead, she came to exercise in the middle of the night.
However...
Perhaps, but it's difficult for me to imagine she would have come alone. She did want to start exercising, but she specifically mentioned she couldn't do it by herself. She needed support from others. So you're saying she could have come here in the middle of the night to train in secret. But that she also would have come with someone else. It's a possibility, I think. Sakura's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of the notebook. Okay. Now I believe it's time for us to move on. Now we can move on. We just had to talk to everyone.
What?
We did actually get useful information out of Sakura. That she'd been avoiding them and coming in the middle of the night because she didn't want to do it around 2 people who were much bigger than her. New clues won't magically appear by standing around here. We need to check every aspect of this case. That's true, but if you're satisfied, let's hurry up and proceed. You said pushy. I got caught up with the wrong person this time. Yeah. What? We did actually get useful information out of Sakura. That she'd been avoiding them and coming in the middle of the night because she didn't want to do it around 2 people who were much bigger than her. New clues won't magically appear by standing around here. We need to check every aspect of this case. That's true, but if you're satisfied, let's hurry up and proceed. You said pushy. I got caught up with the wrong person this time. Yeah. We did legitimately get caught up with the wrong person. So this is our next location. This place is related to the investigation. Figure it out for yourself. It's no fun if you don't, right? Yeah. Figure it out for yourself. I can understand the last one, but this is quite literally, look, I mean, we've got a game to play, and Byakuya is amazing. And what's out of, I guess the key is what we should focus on. If I remember right, this card is meant to work with our handbooks, right?
What?
You have an issue with it? If so, you should take it up with Monokuma. He said that and quickly, sharply clapped his hands together.
Did you call for me?
No. No!
That's right.
It seems Makoto, I have a question for you. I didn't want to ask him. I'm fine without knowing.
You need something?
Sure, what's up? Well, it's just about this card reader. Yes, the card readers have all been designed to interface with each of your e-handbooks. You can only enter the locker room corresponding to your gender listed to your individual handbook. And it's impossible for two people in a row to go through while the door is unlocked, right?
Unbelievable.
There was some sort of erotic tourist on the prowl. The ceiling-mounted Gatling gun would initiate a Swiss cheese slaughter. I mean, who's to say that she wasn't just working out and accidentally left the door open? That probably didn't happen, but, like, what if that did happen, then what? And the school regulations prohibit anyone from lending someone else their handbook, correct?
Of course.
Correct. So then, that means only girls can go in the locker room and only boys can go in the boys' locker room. Yeah, we already know this. I can see right through you. See right through me? Allow me to tell you what you're thinking. It was the first thing I went to. You're hardly a genius. Since Chihiro was found in the girls' locker room, the killer must have been able to get in there. Since Chihiro was found in the girls' locker room, the killer must have been able to get in there.
In other words...
As such, the killer must be one of the girls. Did I get it right? That almost definitely means that it's not one of the girls. There's probably some sort of other ruse that makes it not the girls. It's never who the game tries to frame it as. This is every whodunit ever.
Such ignorance.
Good lord, you're simple. But am I wrong? You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited, however stealing one is not. Only the acting of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine. Borrowing? Why bother? You could just nick one. I would expect nothing less from the prodigal son of the noble Tagami family. So you managed to sniff out the loophole in the regulations. Knowing you, I would bet you created it on purpose, didn't you? To add a little more excitement to things. What's the difference between borrowing and loaning other than financial terms? You're treating me like a puny little appetizer instead of the main course that I am. Now then, since the dead can't actually talk, they're not people anymore, they're things! Get it? Got it? Good. Wait, hold on. You're saying that's a loophole, but in order to borrow something from someone, then that means someone would have to loan it, so, Oh, sleepy. Just listening to you makes me want to pass out. Be more like Byakuya and get your poop together.
Unbelievable.
Or else I'll charge you with criminal negligence. No more questions. Figure out the rest of your damn puzzle.
That's fine.
Well, I know you are unfortunately lacking in mental faculties, so I'll fill you in myself. Let's head to the main hall. The main hall? It'll help you understand what's going on. Card reader has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. Thank you very much. I don't get it. Why couldn't you just steal someone else's e-handbook? What's so wrong with stealing it? We came to the main hall. So, what are we looking for here? Does that mean I have to go figure it out for myself? Classic. Alright, well, what's that? There's a mailbox here. Could this be something inside? It's an e-handbook. No, wait, there's 3 of them, but what are they doing here? You finally found them. Do you know these were here, Byakuya? Happened to find them by chance myself the other day. It seems there's a system in place where the handbooks of dead students get delivered to this mailbox. Oh, right. So he did steal one. Got it. So he both borrowed without loaning and stole one at the same time. Okay. So then, borrowing without loaning is stealing, but details. These 3 handbooks belong to Yonko, Leon, and Sayaka? You can go ahead and confirm it yourself. I immediately turned on one of the handbooks, and when I did... Yep, you're right. You guys didn't hear a thing. You're right, this is Sayaka's handbook. Now, do you understand? This is the key to the loophole that I revealed earlier. Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get it. Starting? It should have made sense by now. Oh, wow. It took that for him to understand. That was 2 minutes ago. I see, yeah. Now I understand. Main whole handbooks has been added to the truth bullets of your handbook.
What?
Truth section of your handbook, sorry. Truth bullets section. Hold on a second. What's wrong?
Very
Strange. One of the handbooks won't turn on. Is it broken? Whose is it? The other handbook showed Junko's name when I started it up. The one that won't... And the one that won't turn on must be Leon's, right?
See.
It would make sense, yes. After all, he did get pummeled with dozens and dozens of baseballs. The memory of it came flooding back. Oh, come on, it's not that bad. The cruel punishment which led to Leon's death. The execution that Mastermind concocted. A cruel, heartless death. Oh, they really do build the atmosphere with music, don't they? You're right, it wouldn't be surprising for the handbook to break during that kind of assault. Hey, hey! Hey, 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 hey! What? The e-handbook is essential to student life here. Crucial, integral, instrumental, a super big deal. There's no way it would break that easily, but it did. If I say it wouldn't break, it wouldn't freaking break! It can withstand up to 10 tons of pressure, and it's waterproof up to 100 meters, okay? That is... It sounds quite difficult. I don't care how many baseballs you hit it with, it wouldn't do crap. But even with my amazing handbook, it does have one single weak point. It does?
I can't hear you.
It's a secret. I wouldn't want you to go breaking any more handbooks.
What?
Then Leon must have broken it somehow without realizing what his weakness was, right? Or it keeps like a login or something and they wanted to break it so no one could look at it to see who it was. Hard to say. You know what I think? I think his handbook isn't actually broken. But you might ask, how could that be? Leaving the question hanging in the air, Monokuma disappeared. Yeah, well, he does like us to figure it out and get confused and maybe kill the wrong person. Who knows? What just happened? Monokuma said it's not broken, but it's an undeniable fact that it's not turning on.
Fine.
Well, I don't see any connection to the case, so it doesn't matter for now. You think so? Either way, something about it still bothers me. Okay then, this should be enough to get things rolling. Let's begin our investigation in earnest and track down the true culprit. Yeah, we need to find out who killed Chihiro. To be exact, not quite. Huh? Not quite? I don't know what it means by not quite, if I'm being completely honest. Do we know the code to this yet? If I try 11037, is it going to work? The hunk of metal blocking the entrance seems like constant on a machine. Is there anything over here? No. Can we leave? No. A surveillance camera and a gun? Can I just talk to you? What do you mean by that, Byakuya? To be exact, not quite. Oh, we just had to talk to him again. Certainly I want to reveal Chihiro's killer, but more precisely, I want to discover the true identity of Genocide Jack. Then you really think? You truly believe Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro?
Make me repeat myself.
I mean, something makes me think it's still imitation. Surely Genocide... They didn't accidentally pick Genocide Jack into this fucking school, did they? That murderous fiend is Genocide Jack, right? There's nobody else it could be. A murderous fiend who kills again and again using a bizarre and brutal method. They're like a ghost, attacking suddenly, then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. And what nickname did the internet give to this mysterious serial killer? Genocide Jack. They say he's killed thousands of people, but that's gotta be an urban legend. Still, could one of us really be a demented psychotic killer like that? Yes! Anyone! That's the thing about crazy people, they don't know they're crazy. You're not wrong to wonder, but words mean little right now. I have something that will prove it, and I can show you. Well, show me. No, I said show me! I said show me! Oh, right, he has a theory. Right, there was a reaction.
Don't make me repeat myself.
Right. And I have a basis to believe that I assure you Genocide Jack is one of us. Is there really proof? There's somewhere I'd like to take you. This will provide you all the evidence you need. Evidence that Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro. So they deliberately drafted in Genocide Jack. That's not an accident between people who want to kill one another. Evidence does something like that. Really? Hey, you two. Big trouble. Need your help.
I don't have time to play
We're
with
busy. Leave us alone.
I mean,
But it's an emergency. Emergency! Come please, you gotta help me. Where are we going?
please.
Okay, where are we going?
I mean,
What happened?
well,
Something's wrong with Toko. She's acting super strange. She's acting pretty strange earlier too. Well, what should we do?
Very strange.
Since this is Toko, I must admit I'm intrigued. I suppose we can take a second to see what's going on with her. You sure?
Don't make me repeat myself.
They used the line that he's been saying to himself for a while. I didn't expect that. I thought for sure he'd just say no and that would be the end of it. Okay, okay, come on, hurry. Wait for us, Hina. Looks like she's headed to the dorms, to Toko's room most likely. You're right. Well, she was trapped in there all by herself earlier on, right? Right, so what are we doing? You're just too fast. After what happened in the girls' locker room, we left Toko in her room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her, you know, to see how she was doing, but when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out and she kept saying all this weird stuff. Weird stuff?
That's fine.
We should try talking to her ourselves. Yeah, good idea. Alright, Toko. Tell me the way of the European swallow. May as well give it a shot. The door swung open, slowly and silently. That's not what swung means. Swung is not... Hang on, it's silently. So it swung like this. That's not silently. That's terrifying. Holy crap. An aura of negativity flowed out from behind the door, forcing a gasp out of me. What?
Oh, nothing. It's just that Hina was really worried about you, holding yourself up in your room.
leave me alone.
She doesn't seem normal, she just seems a little nervous.
Yeah, sure thing. But could you open up just for a second?
Won't allow it.
I think she's scared that someone's going to go in and kill her, dude. She might be hiding something, but that's plausible deniability.
Won't let Genocide Jack have control.
And just like that, she slammed the door in my face. What was that? She's been acting like that the whole time when I rang a little while ago. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend. It doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her in there alone, so I tried to bust down her door. But it felt like something was holding it shut on the other side. I couldn't even budge it. Toko was scared enough to even bar her door? Does she think the same thing as Byakuya? Does she think the serial killer, Genocide Jack, really murdered Chihiro? I think she's trying to say that her other personality or something is Genocide Jack. I think that's what's being implied in the game. Like, hang on. The wording was rather ambiguous, right? I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend. I won't let Genocide Jack have control. It's rather ambiguously worded, don't you think? Is that why Toko's so scared? Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Isn't there anyone who might be able to persuade her? Right, Byakuya. You think you could ask her to come out of her room, I mean?
That's fine.
Sure, whatever. Huh? You gonna talk to her, Byakuya? Wow, I guess you can be nice when you want to. No, he wants something. This is the way he knows of getting something. Byakuya stood in front of her door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. After a few moments...
What do you want?
Leave me alone, you're all so annoying! Bakula!
Byakuya.
It's Byakuya. Oh, they're talking now. I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. And with that, the door slammed shut. Even Byakuya couldn't pull it off. Well, there's nothing else we can do. Let's get back to the investigation. Hold on! What was it talking about just now? Something about a promise? I have no idea. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure. Oh, right. Yeah, of course. This game is rather transparent in that sense, isn't it? But
Stop talking.
if I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Well then, let's go. Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away. Byakuya! And I hurried to catch up. I tried to talk to him several times as we walked, but he didn't even look back, let alone say anything. He just kept on walking to his destination. Finally, his feet brought him to a stop in front of a certain room. The library? Come on, let's go in. What? Oh, nothing new to look at. Is the evidence that proves it was Genocide Jack really in the library? I'm not too sure either.
Don't make me repeat myself.
Don't make me say it again. Alright, well, apparently it is here. There's no point in checking there. We need to find real clues. Okay. Hang on, do you mean we need to check in the other room? It's the archive, right? Hurry up and go inside.
Let's
Okay.
go.
It'll all make sense once you're inside. That room full of files that is definitely not useful. Well, there's so many books and files. And so much dust, too.
In other words,
I would say that there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. Huh. Oh, that's a lot of places. Okay. Here! There's a wooden box. It's empty. Although, judging by the smudges and the dust, it looks like there was something inside. I wonder what it was. There's an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful when I was in the library. Extension cord, huh? This one? Oh, right. No. That was my bad. I accidentally clicked on the wrong one. I meant to click on this one. Oh, is there not something here? No, there isn't. The lamp! It was a desk. It's a desk lamp. Oh, yeah, it's the same one I saw Byakuya using in the library before.
what?
Do you have a problem with that lamp? It was here before, then I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to good use. Wow, we have one whole coin again. The shelf is stuffed tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I picked one out at random. Ah, you have a sharp eye indeed to select that file, huh?
That's right.
That's the report on a presidential assassination. The original is kept in the National Library. It won't be classified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling whose crosshairs you might wind up in for peeking at it. Without making a sound, I returned the thing to the shelf. I want to take a look at that. All we have to do is make sure he's not looking and read it, right? It's not the end of the world. There's so many files stuffed onto this shelf. What's in all these things?
That's enough.
Those documents are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all the people who control the world behind the scenes. Dangerous truth from a commoner. You mean like members of the Diet or something? No, I mean the ones with the real power. The secret council, controlling everything from the shadows. If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There are some very interesting people in there. You're just kidding, right? Am I? I'll just let it go for now. I'm gonna go with he's kidding. That's just a camera. There's a surveillance camera here. So, where else is there to look? We've looked in all the 4 places. Oh, it's just behind him. There's a ton of thick files stuffed onto the bookshelf. If you're thinking of looking through any of them, let me give you a warning. Those things are filled with graphic, disturbing contents from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of thing any normal person wouldn't ever want to look at. Be careful. Huh? What do you mean? Investigation reports related to different cold cases. It means that there's a lot of graphic stuff with dead people in there. That's what it means, Makoto. Those are internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you'd expect to leak. Oh? So you're finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? Oh. I didn't even think about it for a second. It's a lot of killing things for a school, isn't there? The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right here. Yeah, basically I can completely understand why he would be. It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see, and yet a school had it. Isn't it magnificent? This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
It's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you label it a lie. Well, it's not that... It's just a... It's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but... I mean, there's just so much! How could anyone have put all this together? This is where it isn't that at all. And it's just a lie. He's not letting me actually look at anything. It's probably not the case. I suppose it goes to show just how much power Hope's Peak truly wields, or perhaps the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. It's no use. I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. What's wrong? You still can't believe it? How about you? Can you believe it so easily? How can you believe it so easily? Things like that are usually impossible. What do you mean, usually? Usual, normal, ordinary, simple. Those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. Well, you don't pull punches, do you? No, believe it or not. How's it taken him that long to realize this? Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? But what makes you think that your common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I have reviewed them multiple times, so there is no doubt. Hold on a second, you're saying you've read all these documents and more than once? But all this has to be like top secret confidential stuff, right? So why? My family has a reading room just like this at our home. My house is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Huh? Members of the Tagami family have access to any variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign powers as well as domestic. How is that possible?
So, in other words...
I already told you! There's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council, and I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. And to become such a ruler, I must know all levels of this world, backwards and forwards. See, this I believe, unlike the clairvoyant, because otherwise it doesn't fit his character at all. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim without a doubt that the materials gathered here are the real thing. This is beyond believing or not believing. Byakuya is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. And what always interests me most were the cold case police investigation reports. Reading through those reports have always been a hobby of mine ever since I was little. It's excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few cases just by reviewing the reports. And among all those reports, one of my recent favourites is the Genocide Jack case. As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf.
That's right.
This is the complete case file. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack cases have been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarise the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is that at every crime scene, the word blood... Yeah, thank you. Is that the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. It is the exact same as to what happened to Chihiro, yeah. The best part is yet to come. The second characteristic, where the victims are suspended... The only one who knew about that particular fact were members of the police and other high-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. In other words, no one on the news, no one online, nobody knew about that aspect of each crime. Right, okay, well that's more of an issue unless someone's dad is a police officer. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about the act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So, how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. And in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So, in other words...
The culprit isn't a copycat killer, it's the real Genocide Jack.
In other words...
Ah. That is a problem. That right there is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us. So then, Genocide Jack really is... such a brutal, fiendish killer really is walking around amongst us?
Interesting.
Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen. You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
Ignorance.
If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. Wait, what are we supposed to be doing? Don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? Would love to. Oh. Different cold cases, so this one here... I am going to look. Oh, no, I'm not going to look. And this is the really higher up one. What am I supposed to be looking for? And I can't leave here, presumably, right? Do I just have to talk to you again? Byakuya, about the genocide... I just have to talk to him again! It stops, and then all you have to do is talk! About that Genocide Jack case file, could you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. Why does he look so surprised? What did he think he was going to find there? Unicorns and rainbows?